Hello, viewers, and welcome to another session of the Job Help Hotline. Today's session of the Job Help Hotline is brought to you by Illinois Manufacturing Foundation. The name may distract you, but don't worry about that right now. We do emphasize manufacturing and information technology programs. But we're here to talk about you and the chances and the opportunities for you to get a technically skilled job with family supporting wages, something that many viewers may wish to have. All of you probably recall and can currently see that in today's economy, the path to a job with a family supporting wage is undoubtedly the path through technical skills. Where do you get technical skills today? We all know that the high schools in Chicago, particularly, have kind of dropped the ball on technical skills training. We know that the community colleges are picking up the pace of technical skills training, but somewhat slowly. There are a number of not-for-profit and community-based organizations that have been training for technical skills for many years already, trying to overcome the gaps left by the Chicago public high schools and by the Chicago community colleges. One of those organizations is the Illinois Manufacturing Foundation, which now has a 37-year history in terms of helping unemployed Cook County residents secure jobs with technical skills and family supporting wages. So if that's a topic of interest to you, please stay tuned. We'll talk about the programs that Illinois Manufacturing Foundation has. We'll talk about the placements secured through Illinois Manufacturing Foundation training and placement programs. And we'll talk about how you, currently unemployed or underemployed, can get access to that training and get access to those technically skilled jobs with family supporting wages. We invite you to call in and discuss your needs and your particulars with us. The number you can see on the screen is 312-738-1060. That's the number to call, and I think we'll be able to set up to chat directly about your ambitions, your desires, your wants to secure a technically skilled job with family supporting wages. We've been doing it, again, for about 37 years, and over those 37 years, we've helped close to 4,000 residents of Cook County secure jobs in technically skilled occupations. We help convert tax users into taxpayers. Not that you want to be a rush to become a taxpayer, but that would be the result of getting a technically skilled job with family supporting wages. So how do you do that? Well, what we offer are two programs that can help you go in that direction. One is a program to train you to become a precision machinist and to learn the basics of fabricating piece parts using machine tools. As you may know, Chicago, the Chicago metropolitan area, it used to be the city alone, now it's the 8-county metropolitan area, is the precision metalworking capital of the United States, with more than 1,200 companies engaged in one or another form of precision metalworking. What do? They make parts and pieces for almost everything imaginable, from cars to planes to trains to recreational vehicles to home appliances to electronic apparatuses to electronic devices, radios, televisions, receivers, amplifiers, you name it. Virtually anything that gets produced requires parts made by precision machining or precision metalworking companies. And there are more than 1,000 of those companies located in the 8-county metropolitan area. And there's currently a skills shortage for precision machinists. The Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership, an agency that keeps tabs of the number of job openings, regularly each year does a survey of job openings in a variety of specific occupational sectors. And just last year, they estimate through their research that there are more than 500 precision metalworking jobs going vacant on any given year in the Chicago metropolitan area. If you're interested in one of those jobs, Illinois Manufacturing Foundation can help you get one of those jobs. The average median wage for a precision machinist today is well over $19 an hour. Hello, I think we have a caller. Caller, can you talk to us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, I'm 69 years old. I'm Mexican-American. I went to Vietnam, fought for my country proudly. Now, why should veterans, the rest of the Americans who are citizens of this great country of ours, not get all them jobs that you're talking about instead of illegal aliens? Don't you think that we should have a hand up on that? Thank you, sir.
Well, I didn't quite hear all of what you said, but I have the sense that you felt that as a veteran defending our nation, you were not given the appropriate tools to continue working in this economy. Is that what you were saying? Well, let me tell you, if you're interested in either one of the training programs that we offer, please come to our weekly orientation at Illinois Manufacturing Foundation. We are at 2101 South Kedzie, located right off the pink line at the Kedzie station at 2101 South Kedzie. 100 steps away from the elevated line. You can get there using any L train in the city or buses. So we welcome you to come any Tuesday morning, 9:30 a.m. Present yourself, and we'll go through the programs with you and try to help you get ready for a job. Did we miss that caller? Okay, caller, I see you are on now. Hello, caller.
Hi there. Thanks for taking my call. My question is, when it comes to Illinois Manufacturer Foundation tuition, is it possible to use financial aid, or are there financial aid options?
Well, quick answer is no. We do not want any of our graduates to leave training and go to work with a debt. So we do not use federal student financial aid programs. Particularly, we don't use loan programs. So nobody leaves IMF with a ton of debt. We are private, not-for-profit, and our mission is not to saddle you with debt, but to get you the skills you need to get a job. Unfortunately, there are many for-profit schools that have grown up in the last 15 to 20 years that use federal student financial aid programs, wind up leaving students with tens of thousands of dollars in debt. That is not our approach to helping you get to work.
You know what?
However, you would have to qualify for either the Federal Workforce Innovation and Opportunities Act tuition voucher, or Veterans Educational Benefits, or Trade Adjustment Act benefits. Those are the three sources of funding that we use, none of which requires you to pay any penny back in terms of loans or student debt.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, caller. So I was mentioning, if you're interested in accessing our programs, please come to our orientation. Call us at 773-277-2343 and arrange to come to our orientation on a Tuesday morning. If you can't make a Tuesday morning, we'll find another way to get you in there and hold an orientation. Hello, caller. We've got another caller. Can I help you?
Yes, I called earlier, but you didn't get the gist of my question. I wanted to know why illegals are getting jobs that veterans and American citizens aren't getting. If they're not a citizen, shouldn't they not be disallowed for them jobs? Shouldn't only citizens and veterans get them jobs? Thank you.
Now, the question is are the jobs only available to American citizens, to naturalized citizens, and to veterans? I don't know if I didn't quite hear all of your question. Maybe we could turn the volume up on the speaker a little bit. If the caller's still there, could you repeat the
Yes.
question? Maybe I can better answer it because I didn't quite hear all of it.
No, you actually answered. You actually answered it about the priority of American citizens and vets getting the jobs first instead of having illegal aliens who don't have, they're not citizens here in the United States, why they should get any of the jobs.
Well, our training programs are limited to U.S. citizens, naturalized citizens, veterans, and individuals who have the right to work in the United States. So individuals who do not have the right to work in the United States would not be able to qualify for any of the federal tuition assistance programs that we use. So if you're a veteran and would like to enter one of our training programs, you're perfectly welcome to do that. GI Bill benefits would certainly help to pay your tuition, and there would be no debt that you would leave with. Thank you, caller. Now, let me explain a little bit about each of our training programs. One of them takes you entirely into a microscopic world. Microscopic world is a very, very strange place to be. Let me introduce you to that microscopic world. There it is. That's a circuit board. A printed circuit board that stands at the heart of every computer, every telephone, every tablet, every game system, every computational device that's out there. One of our training programs helps you become the master of this world. Helps you to identify where the processor should be. Helps you identify where the random access memory should be. Helps you access what are the connections to the outside world that need to be made by any computer in order to make it function and interact with other devices, such as monitors, mice, keyboards, and so on. And all these complicated circuits on this board you will become the master of. You will learn to replace components, you'll learn to diagnose and troubleshoot components, and you will learn also how to repair a variety of electronic devices, especially those that are based on the microprocessor and the PC. And many of the devices that you use now regularly every day require those skills, and there is a shortage of people who know how to make these repairs and know how to function in a job environment. We train you to take and pass what's called the CompTIA A+ certification exam. It's a worldwide exam. There are two parts to it. It's very tricky. That's part of the training program to help you pass that A+ certification exam. And with the A+ certification exam, according to the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership, on any given 3-month period, they found that there were 2,300 job openings for people with A+ certification in the 8-county metropolitan area. So, if you've got, say, 2,300 jobs to pick from, you ought to be able to find something that's interesting and relevant and important. Average starting wage is about $15 an hour, and that goes up dramatically with the more experience and the more certifications you add. The A+ certification is the ground level certification for everything in the information technology field. Whether you want to go toward Cisco, whether you want to go toward Java, whether you want to go toward Microsoft, whether you want to go in security, whether you want to go into networks, whether you want to go into forensics, A+ is your first step. So think carefully if you want to join the information technology revolution. You can do that at Illinois Manufacturing Foundation. You'll get the basic orientation. You'll actually take on different projects, and you'll be trained to diagnose and analyze and troubleshoot a variety of computer-related problems, PC-based problems. Some of our students have gone off and started repairing game systems in their neighborhoods. Other students have gone off to work in hospitals and healthcare systems. And there is a pretty sharp demand for people with the skills that we train you for. So you might want to think about that. That's our Computer Support Specialist program. It takes place in our facility at 2101 South Kedzie. And you're welcome to come to our orientation every Tuesday morning at 9:30 a.m. to learn what the steps are to get in training, to complete training, and to get out to a job. So that's the first program, called Computer Support Specialist. Let me do a little bit of description about the second program. And the second program is to train you to become a precision machinist. A machinist is an individual who works with precision machine tools to make piece parts of all types and all kinds, and to make them repeatedly and accurately for a variety of applications. So these are samples of some of the piece parts that are manufactured throughout the Chicago metropolitan area. This one happens to be a piece part that's made, if I can zoom it up for you, this one is a piece part that's made for the USS Ronald Reagan for their fire suppression system. It's made out of stainless steel. It's a fairly complicated and somewhat heavy piece part. You would learn to make parts like these in our machinist training program. There are a number of piece parts that we have here. Each have specialized orientations, specialized configurations. They work in conjunction with other piece parts, and they are intended to make the world function in a much better manner. So, insofar as our machining program, there are 4 steps. The first step is math, blueprint reading, and precision measurement. The second step is manual machining. The third step is automatic machining. And then the fourth step is computer-controlled machining. We do it the old-fashioned way. We want you to learn how to make each piece part manually first, then learn how to make it on a machine that makes the parts automatically. You'll have to do the setup, the tooling, and all the setup of the machine. And then that's in the third step, and you'll actually do setups of automatic bar machines, automatic screw machines. And then the fourth step is once you've learned the sequence of steps and how each step goes with what particular tooling, then it becomes a simple matter to tell the computer what to do. You just have to learn the code that the computer understands to process your instructions. You've got to be able to tell it, so you got to know what to do. You got to be able to know what tooling and what sequence of operations it is, and then it all becomes second nature to you. So our second program, for example, in our last batch, we had a total of 8 students. We don't do big numbers, by the way. So you get individual attention in both our computer support specialist class and in our precision machining class. Individual attention. So you're not left alone in a class of 25 or 50 people to fend for yourself. You can be helped in each step along the way until you master each competency, each task, each process, each tool, each diagnosis, each troubleshooting, step by step. Now, you might want to think, and we've developed this method of teaching specifically for folks that have not been in these occupations, don't require any previous experience, But what we do require is a sincere interest in developing a career that starts with a job with family supporting wages and proceeds as far as you want to carry it. In both of our training programs, the more problems you solve on the job, the more money you're going to make. So it's not uncommon for a machinist, for example, one gentleman stopped by that completed with us several years ago. He couldn't turn down the offer. He's working third shift for a company not too far from the Wisconsin border, but he was going to look for something closer to home, living in Chicago as he does. And he said, I think I'm going to start looking around. The company didn't let him. They met any salary demand, they met the salary interest that he had, so he decided to stay. Well, that brought him to over $28 an hour. So he was able to, and in fact, he came by with his very fancy car. I think it was a Chevy Camaro, all souped up and all neat looking. He's happy. He's making piece parts. He's the foreman on the third shift. He's responsible for 8 employees, for the production of 8 employees, and he started out as a graduate of our training program. You can do that as well. It'll take some dedication on your part. One of the key ingredients that you'll have to face is taking the test of adult basic education. It's called the TABE test. You have to be able to qualify at the 9th grade reading and mathematics. So, if that's a world that you're interested in, world where the jobs are in abundance, where you can get jobs fairly easily, where you can make progress on a job by solving more and more problems, where there is never the same repetitive work every day, where there are challenges in the big world or in the small world, you can do that pretty consistently in any of the occupations and any of the 2 occupations we train for. So you should be prepared to come in on a Tuesday morning to 2101 South Kedzie. Bring with you your thinking cap. That's the most important ingredient. Don't leave your thinking cap at home. And do come 9:30 a.m. Tuesday mornings and come visit our training programs, meet instructors, get a good understanding of where the labor market is, where the job opportunities are, and where you fit in that job and career path. That's what we want for you, is to be able to successfully complete. Give you a couple stories. Young woman who completed our precision machining program last year, as a matter of fact, has been relocated to Pontiac, Illinois. And what she's doing there is she's making parts in which she has to basically fabricate some holes using a computer numerically controlled wire travel electrical discharge machine to make holes as small as millionths of an inch. And she's paid quite handsomely. She left the city, took up residence in Pontiac, Illinois, is working for a major global manufacturer, and looks to be able to travel with her company throughout the world. Now that's an unusual ambition. She wanted to see the world. She wanted to see it through her job, and she may well be able to do that. So, that's one example. Another example is there's a fellow who completed our computer support specialist program. He's working heavy duty at Rush University, Rush Press St. Luke's Hospital, as an information technology specialist, helping keep all those computers functioning throughout the medical units. So, we welcome you, Illinois Manufacturing Foundation. Come find out what your career could be, what your wages could be, and if you're unemployed and interested in changing that, or if you're underemployed and want to change that and get into a real skill, a real skilled job, a real career, then do come to Illinois Manufacturing Foundation. We've got room for you, and you won't leave our training with any debt, and you should leave our training with a job that will be your beginning first step on a career path to increasing wages, increasing responsibility, increasing basically wages. So there we have it. You're welcome. Please come in, Illinois Manufacturing Foundation, 2101 South Kedzie, and we look forward to seeing you in the near future. Thank you.